Hi, my name is Angela, and I'm an alcoholic. I've been through this process with a Big Book Step Study sponsor and worked the latter steps to the best of my ability on a daily basis. So, step 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. First, I'll start off by saying why I can't restore myself to sanity. I qualify for this seat. I was a low bottom drunk. I experienced I had a hard time with alcoholism. Jails, institutions, they're part of my story. Being homeless is a part of my story. All of these things, but I'm not special because of those things. This is where alcohol brought me. And if it wasn't for this work, then I don't think I would be alive today. So in step 1, I learned that I was powerless over alcohol, and that was humbling, because every time I would get out of a rehab or an institution, I would go to try it again, because I have a grip on it. I got it this time. I felt confident after a spin dry, but really I was in control of my life. I was making all of the decisions, and I wasn't educated about my disease. And so I kept going back for more, and the bottoms kept getting lower and lower and lower, and it wasn't low enough, not even after something really happened that almost took my life. And that didn't stop me there. So in the beginning part, it says, it engulfs all whose lives touch the sufferers. It brings misunderstanding, fierce resentment, financial insecurity, disgusted friends and employers, warped lives of blameless children, sad wives and parents. Anyone can increase the list. That is me, was me in my active addiction. And it wasn't easy. But once I admitted that I was powerless, then I could start to embark on step 2. So to come to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. Personally, I had religion in my life as a young child, and it wasn't a path that I wanted to follow. So step 2 brought a little bit of angst for me, because I was in a rush to define it. And I was in a rush to really have more of a guideline. But the beautiful part about this program is that it's a spiritual program. So all you have to do is believe in a power greater than yourself. You don't have to, if you're a person like me, you don't have to rush into a religion that maybe doesn't suit you quite yet. I find a lot of joy in reading about different religions and get a lot from each of them. And if I didn't come to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity, then I would continue to think that I was in charge of everything, and that I would have my own willpower. I would be riding on willpower that would keep me sober. Prayer and meditation are a part of my everyday life. And believing that I'm not the biggest and greatest thing in this world is a very humbling thing for an egomaniac. Because really, I'm just a drop in the huge bucket of life. And there's so much out there that's bigger than me and stronger than me. And if I can ask for help and guidance and turn myself over to believe that something out there can restore me to sanity, then we're sitting in a room that this is all bigger than us individually. Alcoholics Anonymous is so huge that in the very beginning, I said to myself, well, this is it. I mean, this is a group of people that follow this book, follow these spiritual guidelines, and they're all sober. And I would look around the room. Well, I was at a meeting from a halfway house or whatever, and I would say, these people know what to do to keep themselves sober. I believe that everybody's journey is an individual journey, and that taking suggestions is extremely important. But this step can't be taken lightly. This step is really the first 3 steps. They arrest the disease. And if I can't believe that a power greater than myself can restore me to sanity, then I'm setting myself up for failure. Because I've already admitted that I'm powerless. Now I need to believe that something bigger than me can restore me to sanity and help me through my daily life. Because quite frankly, it's pretty apparent that I am insane if I would continue to drink non-stop, to pick up that drink and never stop drinking, never stop using people, places, things, conducting myself like a really unhealthy member of society on a regular basis, not feeling good when I look at myself in the mirror, because I carry around the baggage of things that I do, not being considerate of other people's actions. Other people in my actions. And so, for me, it was not the hardest step, but also I had to really let it go that I can just believe in something bigger than me. That's it. That's all you have to do. And don't overthink it, because I really have a tendency to overthink things. Well, I need a definition. I'm looking up this stuff. I need to see the existence of it. I need to know exactly what it is, but you don't have to. And that really helped me quite a bit. Because in the later portion of this reading, it shows a picture of somebody that was under the care of a renowned psychiatrist. And throughout my journey of institutions, I had some pretty good psychiatrists wrapped around my finger. Some real stuff was coming out of my mouth, but I didn't have alcoholism. I wasn't an addict. There was other things going on, And so I could relate when he spends all of this time getting healthy, getting sober. He has a routine, and then he is freed out into to go home. And what's the first thing he does? Pick up a drink. How many times was it that I would be leaving a treatment center and I would just stop at the package store? Because why not? And you don't know why you do it. And so without this program, I wouldn't know so much about my disease that tells me that I can't do it. And I can't do it alone. And I need a spiritual experience in order to move forward with this step work, and in order to have this experience wrap my head around being sober. Because without that, I don't know what I would have, because I feel like I never am alone. I feel like I can always talk to my higher power, and I have a solid line of communication. Hold on 1 second. The other thing that, came up in this, which I really liked, is on page 21 when the paragraph goes on to explain that he does insert incredible tragic things while drinking. He is a real Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He is seldomly mildly intoxicated. Isn't that the truth? I can really relate to that, because I'm one person when I'm sober, and I'm another person when I'm drunk. And I also have a real strong ability to get drunk at the wrong moment. And it is incredible how drunk I can get at the wrong moment in time. When I need to be accountable, when I need to be present, when I need to be a member of society. Before I found this program, I would get in my own head and feel self-conscious and anxious or scared about something, scared how people would think of me. So what would I do? I would get insanely drunk and then not care what people would think about me, but boy, would they have an impression. It was not a good thing. And so So I like there as a solution because in step one, we read more about alcoholism, and I think that, 3/4 of that chapter is underlined, starred, and highlighted because I'm saying to myself, I can relate. These instances really bring it home because we're moving into step two. So it's a gentle reminder that, hey, guess what? Like, does this stuff relate? And then I also have highlighted, if hundreds of experiences have shown him that one drink means another debacle with all its attendant suffering and humiliation, why is it that he takes one drink? Why can't he stay on the water wagon? Why? Because I don't have a program in my life. Because I don't understand my disease. Because I can't stop drinking. Because I think that I'm in control of everything. And that I don't believe that there's anything that can restore me to sanity. And that's really not the life path that I want to live today. But that's a beautiful thing because today I feel like I'm worth sobriety and that I'm worth the recovery process, and that AA has laid a foundation in my life that I'm so grateful for, because I'm able to not be wrapped up in myself, to think of others, to accept other people for their path in recovery, to support them, even if it's not the same path that I take. Because any path in recovery that gets you sober is a beautiful path. I think working the steps is crucial. I think it is absolutely crucial. Why? Because it's affected my life in such a positive way. Was it scary? The fourth step? Unbelievably, yeah. Because I had to take a good, hard look at myself. But I couldn't get to the fourth step without the second step. So I had to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity in order to really do the rest of the work that I needed to do in order to stay sober and live the life that I have today. So I'm very grateful that I was able to go through this step and to humble myself to believe that that something bigger than me can restore me to sanity. And if you're struggling with it, give yourself a break and don't overthink it. Just know that something out there is bigger than you, and it can help restore you to sanity, because every one of us in this room is living proof. And that's AA, because we're all here. So if you have to start with that, that's where I started. And it opened up the doors for me to a beautiful life. Thank you.